Rod Stewart, Hot Legs. This is a CVT guitar lesson for Ray. Got the right guitar for the job here. It's working out. Ray, my glasses are broke temporarily, so I may have to do a little bit of zoning in here to read the tabs that I did for you. 15B, third finger, back it with a couple. We're going to slide it up to 17 and then bend it. Once you get there, keep the bend, go 17E, bend the B again, there's the E, the B again, so that gives you, then the E, these are all 17s, and then the B again. Every time we do the B, we're bending. E, B, E, pre-bend the 17B, we already are, and release it and slide it. Alright, so that gives you this. Oops. Then the next line is, and this is standard tuning, by the way, which you'll already know because you'll have your tabs. But 10th fret E and B barred. We're going to hit those two, hit them both, and then go 12B, 10B, 12B, slide to 15. Right? It's kind of tricky. Whoever this guitar player, which I need to look it up, I don't think it was Jeff Beck. He did do some stuff with Beck, but this guy's good. Once you get to the 15B, it's kind of like we did on the 17. You'll go 15E, B, E, pre-bend 15B, so it's okay. From there, more double stops, 8EB, 10B, back to the double 8, so it's okay, 2 times on the 8th fret. Bend the 10G, and then let that kind of drop on the tip of the index, right? Like, so it stops the note from ringing, so it doesn't go. So it's the 8 E and B, and then pre-bend release 10G. Really cool blues riff. You're gonna 8G, half step bend, 10D. So it's, so I'm up, then I go down. It just feels more right. So that covers the first second time stamp. The next one is 10 seconds in, and oops. So let's break that down. 14G, third finger, 15B pinky. We're gonna back, support the G string there. Bend the G, but strum them both. Stop the notes. Do it again, but bend release. So it's 12G, 14D and G, 12D and G. And then hammer to 14D. That's tough. So you hear 2 notes: the 14D from the hammer-on and the 12G from the bar. 12G, G and B, so it's 14D and G, 12D and G. So it's 12D G, 14D, back to the 12D G. So it's 14th, or timestamp, 14 seconds, back to the bend. You'll go 1 time on the bend, do it again, let it ring, and then do a pre-bend release. 12 GB. So it's, let's try it again. So, back to the bend. And this part he goes, he'll bend the G, hit the 15B with it, and he'll go in groups of 2 off the bend. And towards the end, you're going to do 4 groupings of the 2 hits, start releasing the bend. And then 18 seconds in, we got it's a main hook. 12-14D, 12-14G, bend, release, pull off to 12. So it's, gotta get that out of there if you have it down. 14, 12G, and then back to the 14G bend, 15B, and then 14G bend, vibrato. So it's does it twice. 26 seconds in, we've got 15B bend. It's kind of like a rest there. 15E. Then check this out. It's really cool. You go 15B, pre-bend pick, take it back down, pick, take it back up, release. That's tough, but it's good ear training, Ray, to get used to whole step pre-bends without bending to it. It's easier to bend to it because you can hear it, right? So this kind of is a feel. It'll teach you the feel of achieving the whole step. So, or 15, let me see. Can't emphasize how important that is, even though it's, you know, 4 notes happening there. Page 3, let's go there. We're still working on the intro solo. 14G, bend release, and then 12G, vibrato. 30 seconds in, 14G, 15B. Now what you want to do here, hit them both, bend the 14 a whole step, hit them both, and do that twice. So it's similar to what we just did on the bottom of page 2, right? It's just using 2 strings this time. Very cool. And then hit them again on the pre-bend, but release. 12G, 14D, 12G vibrato. "34 seconds in, 17B, we're going to do a triplet, down, up, down, bend. And then 17E, down, up, 17B, bend. So it's, right? Bend the 17B again. 17E, again, bend, pick, 17B, bend, 17, 15. So it's, right? Lot of bends, man. 39 seconds in, this part's I thought was really cool. What he achieved here is 12E, 15B. Now you should hear both of them. Start on the E, bend the 14G, do that again, this time a pre-bend release. So it's, oops, do it again. 12G, 14 pull 12G, 14D, 12DG, hammer 14. Same thing on the A and D. 12s, 15 on the E. So that ending is, let's see. "14G, bend, 15B, don't bend." That's where the intro solo ends. Then we hit 43 seconds in, which is the verse, section 1. This is tough. Lower your thumb, because we need to stretch. It's the old Chuck Berry thing. 3E, 5A, twice. Stretch that pinky to 7A. I think we've done something like this, Ray, in one of your other CVT lessons. I'm not positive, but it seems like me and you were talking about it, the stretch. 2 times on 3/7. And you're going to see in your tabs, double dots, 8 times of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just drop it down a string each. A and D do the same thing, but 4 times of it. Back to the top 2 4 times. Same strings, move way up to 10, 12. And you're going to go 3 times of that 10, 12 to 10, 14. 2 times per, right? And then, to make it even harder, stretch up to 15E and to keep the 10E. Or 15A, 10E. Twice, back to 14 twice. So pretty crazy. Keep that thumb low. 8E, 10A, same concept 4 times, transitioning to the 12A. Section 2, 109, this is the chorus, and it's this. 3-5 twice to 3-7 twice. You'll do that 12 times. Alright, so after your 12th time, do just a G power chord once, rest, and then George Thorogood style here. D and G string, opens, 5s, opens, 5s, open. Open D, hammer to 2, open G. So it's in there if you listen. Then we hit repeats until the solo comes in at 217. And some of the stuff for hooks we used earlier. It's 12-14 on the D and G. We actually used that earlier, so it's the same riff twice. 226, this is new. Bar the 8th fret on the E and B. Alright, it's probably a little bit of a Georgia Satellites. So 3 times, 10 GB, 8 GB, hammer to 9 G to 10 D. So it's 8 EB, rest, hit it again, ring, 2 more times, 10 GB, 8 GB, and half step bend it. 10 GB, slide off. 230, we have 3rd fret barred on the E and B. And then there we go. 3s and then 5 GB bend. So you gotta flatten this, and I suggest backing it with these because we've got to push both of them up in a bend. A lot of times the B string wants to drop out, so pay close attention to that. Right? Do it again with no rests till the end of it, and then like the first one, and then 3s, and then check this out, 5 GB bend release, pull off to 3s. They're doubles. You're going like Slash does a lot of stuff like that. So 5D, 3 GB, 5D. So it's slowed down. Cool riff. 8 EB, barred, 10 GB bend, then hold the bend, pick, release, pull off to 8, and then 10s and 8s. 10D, 8 GB, half step bend, 10 GB, and then we hit our next timestamp, which is 259. We got the 3rd fret E and B, and then you're gonna go 5th fret G, bend, whammy, vibrato, and he goes kind of crazy on it. It's like okay, not used to this Bigsby, but I love it. I'm probably out of tune too. Not too bad. Now, Ray, if you don't have a whammy, then don't worry about it. Just manually vibrato. That type of vibe. Okay, so anyways, that was 3 times. 5 G and D. 0 go. 5 GB. 3 GB. Hammer 4 G to 5D. So it's. Now make sure when you hammer, still hearing the 3D. Just a cool riff, man. Universal. So let's move on to page 5. I think we're closing in on the solo. 243, we've got 8th fret E and B, sliding to 10. Rest, hit it again. 12 GB, 10 GB, bend half step, 12D, slide. You're gonna do that twice. So it's, oops, try it again. Okay, 246, we've got the 8th fret barred on the E and B 3 times. 10 G bend, 8 again. Pre-bend release 10 G. 8 half step bend, 10 D. So that's something similar we did from earlier. 8th fret on the G and B. And then 10 G, you're gonna bend. You'll go bend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Release the last one. 8G, that's where that one ends. 252, back to this hook. It's altered on the end. Make sure you zone in on that. Good, but it starts the same as that. But he does a hammer, the 12D to 14. Double stop 12 GB, 14D, 12 GB rest, 12 GB, 14, 12D. So that's slightly altered from what you did earlier. He continues on with the same beginning.